So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted a theme song short, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. CrazyCatLady or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair educational for and entertainment purpose. Blade. It's like it's all they did. Well, those years ago. See? No, I don't want to do any more of it.
Hey everyone, Martha here. So basically everything that scared me as a little kid counts a Halloween movie to me, I guess. Because I decided to review Return to Oz this year for Halloween as one of my, I guess 5 movies. Since there's 5 weeks in this movie, this month. So, yeah. Now I picked this one, like I said, because this movie did scare me as a little kid. And it's also one of those rare movies from this time period that not many people know of because of that. And I know it already bombed at the box office, so I'm not going to bother looking up at the box office in this because of mostly because parents heard that this give kids nightmares, so they told the other parents, don't take your kid to this because they're gonna get nightmares. This one I saw when it came home on VHS. Back in those days, back when we had VHSs. Or I saw it on TV, one of the two. Can't remember which one. But this, I know I didn't do this in order, but I thought, why not review this since next month I'm gonna go see Wicked. I'm probably gonna have to do the actual one before this, but I do like this one more than the Wizard of Oz, because this one's way more faithful to the book than that one is. I even like the fact that in this book they do reference some stuff that happened in the first book, like Dorothy reference how the ten men came to 10 men in that one. I might have to mention this in Wicked because it's probably going to be a different story in that one when I'm finished reading that one. Or did they use the same story? I don't know. Knowing them, they probably got, we'll find out if it's the same exact story. In the book, The 10 Men, he basically cut off every single part of his body until he was all made of 10. So yeah, pretty horrifying. I wonder why in the 30s they did not want that to be the 10 Men's origin in the movie. So yeah, and the fact that they mention it here, because I didn't realize it until, I don't know if I realized it before. I guess this time around I did notice it, that she was literally telling the psychiatrist, or the doctor, that how the 10 Men was made. So this takes place like 6 months after Dorothy came back to Oz, and this time around we have a little 10-year-old playing her, not a 17-year-old like they do in Wizard of Oz, playing Dorothy. Because I remember when I was 10, I was always wondering, why is she a kid here and a teenager and this one? And then when I read the book, oh, that makes sense. But okay, whatever. Then we have Dorothy having to go there because both Annie M and Uncle Henry think that she's gone crazy because she's come back from, she woke up talking about talking scarecrows, talking lions, ruby slippers, and stuff like that, and they want her talking normally. So they take her to a doctor who does shock treatment. Now, I don't think they do this in the book. They do take her to a doctor, but I don't think they take her to one that tries to give her shock therapy. Luckily, this doesn't happen to her in the movie. The new leader of Oz comes and saves her from it, and she ends up taking her to Oz, where we have her chicken, who ends up actually beating the Gnome King later on in this, because the way they beat the Gnome King in this version, I don't know if because I know he returns later on in the books, because he really is who replaces being the villain in the Oz books, since there's like 14 or 13 of them. He is the one who like basically comes the villain for the rest of the books after the Wicked Witch of the West. But I think, yeah, the king, he does get beat by, he does not like chickens, the book 2, but I don't think it actually beats him. So there's a lot of animatronics in here and stop motion in this movie too, because all the Gnome King's servants are rocks who can appear in other parts of Oz to spy on Dorothy and let the Gnome King know that the Dorothy's returned and there's a chicken with her, and let them know that she's heading over to the Emerald City, where she finds that they're all been the people who lived at Emerald City have been turned to stone because of the Gnome King, and that he took the Scarecrow as captive, since the Scarecrow was left to be king after the wizard left. And really, because what happens in the book, all 3 of them come kings of different areas. Like the Scarecrow comes king of the Emerald City. The Tin Man comes king of I think the monkeys or something like that. And the Cowardly Lion becomes the king of the forest. Looks like he says I'm gonna be king of the forest. So yeah, he got his wish from that silly song of his from the first movie. But here they just have them both be statues. It's one of the statues that happen, and this is where we technically see our first scare. Second, if you count her almost getting shocked, but real second, the one that actually, because I never really understood her shock therapy when I was a kid. But the Wheelers are what was one of the few things that scared me when I was a kid, and a lot of kids when they first watched this movie are the Wheelers, because they're basically supposed to be the guy who takes her to the shock therapy. One of them is, because just like in the first movie, all the people that she met in real life were somebody she meets in this world. So we have, just like in that one, there's 4 of the same exact person playing somebody she knows in real, and the other in her actual life, including the Queen. Which, I guess, if that's true, does that mean that little girl actually drowned? But the thing is, she could have been a ghost, because nobody notices her while she's taking Dorothy back. Like, the nurse does not regard her at all. For all we know, that Dorothy is just going by herself, and that's all what the nurse sees. So yeah, because she does not regard at all what happened she does not say there's 2 girls, or does not follow her. So maybe that's a ghost. Maybe she's not really there. But yeah. And when she gets in order to get away from the Wheelers, she goes into a door and locks behind her. And the key that I did not mention this earlier, but she found a key back in Candace that can unlock this one. That's named TikTok. No, not the app, kids. No, not that thing, because that thing did not exist back then. So you guys wondering, why is there a character named TikTok and now there's an app in our world named TikTok? Nope, that app did not exist and no apps did. So yeah, I kind of had to make that joke since, yep. And he's basically like a wind-up toy that you have to use a key and wind up every time you want to make him work. And I guess he's like the equivalent of the Tin Man in this movie. I don't know. To me, he's like the only one that really works. I guess you can say this Jack the Pumpkinhead is equivalent to the Scarecrow, because technically people could use a pumpkin head for a scarecrow. Alright, so I'm back. What was I talking about TikTok, and TikTok is the one who saves Dorothy and the chicken from Wheelers, and gets one of the Wheelers to take her up to Mumsy, who is the lady with all the heads. So move over, look at which. This one is the one who gave me nightmares as a kid. Because especially when all of those heads scream when she goes to grab when Dorothy goes to grab the light powder that brings the moose head to life in this, and because she has to go in there and the ladies that are like in a circle with no heads were the ones that where Mumsy got or heads from. I could swear she has more heads than there is in that circles. I think there's only like 5, at least 5. So I don't know if there might be more heads there, but okay. Whatever. And the way it starts with one of them, like one of the younger ones, leading her to her room, leading the chicken and her into the room. So they wouldn't get trouble. And TikTok ran out of like movement, so he has to be wound again. So he's gonna be like a statue that stays in her palace forever, and she's the one who has the princess, has the actual princess there, and says she wants Dorothy's head, but Dorothy's head's not mature enough. She's not old enough yet, so she has to wait till Dorothy gets older. Dorothy has to escape out of there by getting Jack the Pumpkinhead, which is very close to Jack the Pumpkin King, but okay. After he puts him together, he helps break him out and goes, and Mumsy's asleep. She tries to go after her, but she has no head, so she can't see. And they're trying to escape by using a moose head and a couch and some leaves, or to get out that way, and some light powder that which brought Jack to life, and they escape that way to find the scarecrow, and so they then bring everything back to normal. And this is when they almost get knocked down because the ropes that to keep the moose head together starts breaking, and they end up falling down, and the Gnome King takes them and makes each one of them, after Dorothy cries, to guess which one has a scarecrow, and after you guess wrong, you join his ornament collection. And they keep going until Dorothy has a change, and TikTok pretends to not be all the way around, so Dorothy can see how it's done by seeing what TikTok does. And you basically have to say Oz and picks which one's it. And they figure out which one's it through all the ones that are from the Emerald City are now green, since green's supposed to be emerald. And so she grabs an emerald diamond and guess right, and then also the Mumsy's there to tell the Gnome King what he already knows, and the fact that he has the ruby slippers is how he did all this, rid the statues, and got to go over the Emerald City and stuff like that. But the thing is, in the book, the Gnome King, in the book, the ruby slippers are not ruby. They were like metal shoes or something, like tennis shoes. They're gray, but IGM wanted to have a bunch of color stuff, so they wanted to make the shoes stand out. And so technically Disney had to ask permission to use those shoes, since those are not public domain like the rest of everything else, because Disney is one that made this movie. Because after IGM made this, they wanted to make movies for the Wizard of Oz, but Disney for some reason didn't make Wizard of Oz movie until this one, and this is technically the only one they made. So yeah, I mean, they do use it later on, like in Once Upon a Time, for example, but by that time anybody can use Wizard of Oz. That's why you can see all these different versions of the story. From, like, for example, the Sci-Fi Channel made that 10-man one, which was really weird, but I like it none the same. Let me know if you ever want to talk about that one. I just have to figure out how to find it. After they save the Scarecrow and everybody else, separate TikTok, the Gnome King tries to eat everybody, and he tries to eat Jack because that's where the chicken is, inside Jack's head. The egg falls down into the gnome's head, and it kills him because he can't eat chicken. And that's how they win, and then Dorothy asks to go back home, and the princess comes out and says, "You can go, and we all let us know if you ever want to come back." and she says goodbye to everybody. And when she wakes up, she's in like right by the lake, and Toto's the one that finds her with Uncle Henry. And this part, I guess, bugs me, I guess, because it's not really their fault what happens. They're just kind of doing their job. Both of them were, so I don't really mind that the people who were them real life should like get struck by lightning or been arrested. So yeah, and that's how the movie ends, with Dorothy going back home, saying hi to the princess, and then not telling NEM this time around, so she doesn't think that she's crazy. And that's how the movie ends. So, yep. Like I said when I reviewed The Craft last week, this is the same exact girl who plays Nancy from there. And let's see if there's anybody else worth telling you guys besides her. Francina Bankin is one who plays Dorothy. The Tin Man's played by the guy from the live action version of Charlie Factory, who played the Oompa-Loompas. Huh. Does he even talk in this? Jane Massett plays Mumsy, and the one who plays the Gnome King is Nikolai Williamson, and those are the ones I'm going to tell you guys. The director of this is Walter Muntz. Okay, I was looking for pictures to pick out something I noticed. So I guess the Muppets must, the Hensons must have made this movie, because Jack the Pumpkinhead is played by Brian Henson, and that is Jim Henson's son. So I just want to add that. So I'm guessing they're the ones that provided the animatronics in this movie. I just want to add that. I found that pretty cool. So yeah, and like I said, this movie did not make its money back at the box office. So if you guys enjoyed this, like, favorite, subscribe. I have not decided what I'm going to do. There's a bunch of choices I can choose for next week. For my next movie I'm going to review. But we'll find out. So I'll see you guys later. Like, favorite, subscribe. And bye-bye. Happy Halloween.